name is Bob Mwiti, and I'm a Kenyan national living and working here in the US. I live in the state of Florida in a city called Tampa. Now, I came to the US about 11 years ago, and I came here as a master's student. Now, before I got here, I had struggled a lot trying to get a visa. I was denied visa 4 times, okay? But I finally got a student visa to come and study my master's here in the US. Now, back home, I grew up in Meru County. I grew up with my grandparents back in the village, and I went to a local public primary school in the village, school called Gikomene Primary School. I completed my KCPE in 1997, and I ended up going to a school called Nkobo High School, a really good school in Meru County. And that's where I did my KCSE in 2001. I did well to get into the University of Nairobi Chiromo campus for a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics. I didn't stay at the University of Nairobi for long. I left after 3 months. I joined Strathmore University, where I pursued a Bachelor of Commerce degree in Accounting and Finance. In 2009, that's when I relocated to the US as an international student. I was a student at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, which is a small school located in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, I came to do my MBA, and I graduated in 2011 with an MBA in professional accountancy. Now, after I graduated in 2011, I was struggling a lot. I was struggling finding good jobs in corporate America. And I actually had to extend school by 1 semester because I couldn't find even an internship. But what I did was I was very curious to see what other international students were doing, and I could clearly see that a lot of Asian students were graduating and getting good jobs, okay, as compared to most of African students. So I was looking at what they were doing, and I decided to get into the tech space just like them, because I realized most of Indians, especially Indians, they usually work in the tech industry, and most of them, they were graduating, getting good jobs in the tech space as systems analysts, business analysts. And that's really how I got interested in the tech space, and I got trained. I got trained as an Oracle systems analyst. Basically, I was trained to be that person who configures and sets up the Oracle system from the front end without necessarily doing any programming work. Okay, and once I got trained, that's how later on I was able to get a job. In 2012, I think January, I got a job as a systems analyst, and I worked in the tech industry as a systems analyst for about 5 years before I quit and started my own business. Now, America is good, and especially when you are professional, if you're working in corporate America, there's good money, especially if you're in the tech space. Okay, you'll find that mostly in the tech industry, most of the people who work there, it's usually Indians. Okay, and they make a lot of money in this country. The people who make more money than the rest is Indians, okay, and Asians in general. And it's because they are mostly in the tech space. You'll find out that, if you go to any company in their IT department, 70% of those people who work there, it's Indians, okay? Their median household income here in America is about $100,000 per year, okay? And yet, the median household income is about typical American household is about $60,000. So you can see the gap. And it's because for them, they're in the tech space, because that's an industry where there's good money. People get paid well, especially if you're doing, consulting kind of work. Okay. Now, so if you're in the right career, you can make good money here in the US. I've seen a lot of our people come to the US and struggle so much, And mostly a lot of people struggle here because of lack of preparedness, okay, way back home. Now, although the US has a lot of opportunities, there is also a lot of challenges for immigrants who come here, and especially those who come as international students. Now, one of the major challenges that a lot of people face is immigration papers. There's a lot of people who live in the US without the right documents, and it's very, very challenging because if you don't have the right documents, it means that you can't really get good jobs. Now, one of them contributing factors of why people end up not having the right immigration documents is because also when you are back home, no one really tells us about life here in the US. All that people knows about is, when you come to the US, life is good, you're going to be making good money and all that. But a lot of our people, we don't really know exactly what we need to do in order to get those really good jobs in corporate America. Okay, so what I can advise anybody who is out there, and especially those who want to come to study here in the US as international student, because personally I came to the US as an international student, is to be well prepared. Okay, do your homework, get to know exactly how you're going to be able to transition from a student to a skilled worker. Okay, especially if you're a smart person, because I see there's a lot of smart people who are in this country, but they don't do the jobs that they would have wanted to do. And it's because they don't have the right immigration documents. Okay, if you have the right immigration documents and you have the skills, you can comfortably work in corporate America and make some good money. Okay, but if you don't have the right papers, even if you're smart, then unfortunately there is nothing that you can do. You'll end up doing all these odd jobs, that doesn't really pay well. Okay, so these are some of the things that people don't know when they're back home. Okay, all they know is America, there's opportunities there, you'll make money and all that, but they don't really understand the issues of immigration. Okay, getting the right papers. Okay, you have to have a green card, you have to have working papers for you to be able to get a very good job here in the US. Okay, so if you come as a student, you have to figure out how do you transition now from a student once you graduate to a skilled worker. Okay, how do you get that green card? Okay, and that's really what a lot of people are not able to do. Okay, transitioning from a student to a skilled worker. Okay, all right, it's not easy. It's not easy because you have to find an employer who is willing to sponsor you. Now, finding that employer is the hardest part. Okay, because also for someone to be sponsored by an employer, you have to have the skills that Americans don't have. Okay, now for me, when I graduated from university, I was struggling because I had accounting skills. I had a Bachelor of Commerce degree in accounting. I'd work in Kenya at Equity Bank as a teller. So the kind of skills that I had, it's the skills that Americans have. So for an employer to actually employ you as an international student and sponsor you long term to live and work here, they have to prove to the US government that you have skills that Americans don't have. Now, if you have accounting skills, there's so many Americans here who have accounting skills. Okay, so it's very hard for an employer to sponsor you, with those kind of skills. Okay, so you have to get the right skills, okay, for you to get papers through employment. Okay, and that's why I got into the tech space, because as an IT consultant, not many Americans, work as IT consultant. Okay, mostly here in the US, those who work in the tech space as consultants is usually Indians. Okay, 70% of those people work in the tech space as consultants. It's Indians. So, so if you are out there, okay, and you want to come to the US, okay, and you're smart, okay, you have to really understand that for you to get a very good job, okay, you have to have the right skills, okay, so that now any employer who is wanting to employ you can be able to prove to the US government that you have the skills that Americans don't have. Okay, all right, and you don't really, and let's say for example, because a lot of our people, not many of us did IT degrees back home. You can actually come here even for a business degree, but then again, at the same time, you can train on IT skills and be able to get an IT job. Okay, and that's what I did. You know, I have a Bachelor of Commerce degree in accounting and finance. I have an MBA. So I trained as an Oracle systems analyst, okay, on the side after I graduated from college. And that's how I was able to get into the tech space. Okay, so another thing that I normally see with a lot of our people is that there's that misconception about IT, that IT it's all about coding and stuff like that. Personally, I can't write even one single line of code. Okay, and I've been a very, very successful consultant. I worked in the industry for more than 5 years before I quit and started my own consulting firm. Now, for those who are out there, I would also encourage you to come to the US, but don't come blindly, okay? Because also I see a lot of people trying to come on a visit visa. If you come on a visit visa, there is no way that you can be able to work in corporate America because you won't have the right working papers. You're not allowed to work here in the US with a visit visa, okay? I usually say this, the best non-immigrant visa to use to come to the US is a student visa, okay? Because with a student visa, there is a clear path to permanent residency. Okay, once you graduate, there is a way that you can be able to transition from a student to a skilled worker and be able to get a green card. Okay, and that's really what I did. Okay, now let me show you around and let me take you to the city of Tampa. Okay, come with me. Well, Tampa is a very vibrant city. It's a city that is located in central Florida. It has a population of about 400,000 people. And some of the attractions around the Tampa Bay area include the really nice beaches, okay? And also we have some big employers here. We have Chase Bank. They have a campus here. We also have Citibank. They also have a big campus here in Tampa. There's also another big employer called Baycare Health System. It's a chain of hospitals, so they are also big employers here in Tampa Bay. Okay, as far as sports are concerned, we have like big teams here. One for the NFL, National Football League. It's called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We also have the Tampa Bay Lightning, a very good team in the National Hockey League. Okay, we also have a professional soccer team, but not at the top league, one level down. It's called the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Okay, so if you are someone who usually likes sports and things like those, then probably Tampa would be one of the places that you can relocate to here in the US. Okay, now other than that, for those who are interested in studying here in the US, Tampa could be an option. We have really good universities. We have University of Tampa, which is located right in the downtown Tampa. We also have University of South Florida, which is not very far away from Tampa. It's probably maybe about 10 minutes from downtown Tampa. All right? Okay. Some of the other attractions include very vibrant nightlife for those for young people like students and stuff like that. We also have really good theme parks. You have one called Busch Gardens. Okay, so if these are some of the things that that interest you, then probably Tampa would be a good choice for you if you want to relocate here in the US. All right. Okay. So that's pretty much it about my life here in the US. Okay, it has a lot of challenges, but also there's a lot of opportunities here. So if you're out there and you want to relocate to the US, especially as an international student, yeah, I would encourage you to just come, but be well prepared. Okay, don't just come blindly. All right, goodbye. You've been watching Success with Bob Mweti Show, brought to you by Upstake America. Come back next time to hear more steps and missteps that I took on the path to becoming a successful immigrant in USA. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.